Picture this: you're standing at airport security, watching a TSA agent confiscate your carefully packed snacks while other passengers glare at you from the growing line behind you. Your flight boards in 20 minutes, you're starving, and that overpriced airport sandwich is starting to look like your only option. What went wrong? You packed the wrong foods, and now your entire travel day is derailed. I'm about to reveal the hidden food items that airlines absolutely forbid, some so surprising they'll make you question everything you thought you knew about travel packing. From innocent-looking spreads that count as weapons to festive treats that can land you in serious trouble with customs, this isn't just about following rules. One wrong food choice could cost you hundreds of dollars, delay your vacation, or worse, get you banned from flying entirely. Before we dive into these travel nightmares waiting to happen, make sure you're subscribed because I'm constantly uncovering travel secrets that could save your next trip. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be checking your luggage twice and thanking me for preventing what could have been a complete disaster. Let's start with the most shocking offender that catches even experienced travelers off guard: nut butters and spreads. That innocent jar of peanut butter you grabbed for quick protein. It's classified as a liquid by TSA standards. Any container larger than 3.4 ounces gets confiscated immediately, no exceptions. But here's where it gets really wild. Nutella, cream cheese, hummus, and even that fancy artisanal jam you bought as a souvenir all fall under this rule. I've seen grown men cry watching their $20 jar of imported almond butter disappear into a TSA bin, never to be seen again. The liquid rule seems straightforward until you realize how many foods technically qualify. Yogurt, pudding, and soft cheeses all count as liquids. That means your kid's favorite yogurt tubes or your protein-packed Greek yogurt breakfast gets tossed unless it's in a tiny container. Even more confusing, the consistency matters more than the actual state of matter. Frozen yogurt that starts melting becomes a liquid violation, creating a ticking time bomb in your carry-on. Now let's talk about something that surprises international travelers every single time: fresh fruits and vegetables. While domestic flights within most countries allow fresh produce, crossing international borders turns your healthy snacks into contraband. That apple you saved from your in-flight meal could result in fines up to $10,000 in some countries. Australia and New Zealand are particularly strict, treating undeclared produce like a biological weapon threat. The reasoning makes sense when you understand the science. Fruits and vegetables can carry invasive species, diseases, and pests that could devastate entire agricultural systems. One infected apple could potentially destroy thousands of acres of crops, which is why customs agents take this so seriously. Even that innocent orange peel in your backpack could trigger a thorough search and hefty penalties. Here's where things get culturally complicated: homemade foods and traditional dishes. Your grandmother's famous sauce recipe becomes a security nightmare when you can't identify every ingredient for customs officials. Fermented foods, pickled vegetables, and traditional meat preparations often contain prohibited substances or fall under liquid restrictions. I know travelers who've had entire family recipes confiscated because they couldn't prove the safety and legality of homemade ingredients. Canned foods present their own unique challenges, especially when traveling internationally. While technically allowed on most flights, metal cans can trigger additional security screenings and suspicious looks from agents. Some countries prohibit certain canned meats or vegetables due to import restrictions, turning your emergency rations into customs violations. The key issue isn't the container but the contents, and proving what's inside a sealed can becomes nearly impossible during routine inspections. Alcoholic treats and boozy foods create another layer of complexity that catches many travelers unprepared. Those chocolate liqueurs you bought as gifts. They count toward your liquid allowance and alcohol limits. Rum cake, brandy-soaked fruitcake, and bourbon-infused candies all contain enough alcohol to trigger restrictions. Some airlines prohibit alcohol-containing foods entirely, even if the alcohol content seems minimal. A single bite-sized chocolate could technically violate multiple regulations simultaneously. The alcohol percentage matters more than most people realize. Foods containing more than 0.5% alcohol by volume fall under strict regulations, and many traditional treats exceed this threshold. Even vanilla extract, commonly used in baking, contains enough alcohol to cause problems if detected during security screening. Customs officials can test suspicious foods on the spot, turning your innocent dessert into evidence of regulation violations. Baby food and formula occupy a strange gray area that confuses parents and security agents alike. While generally allowed, the quantities and containers matter significantly. Powdered formula gets scrutinized heavily, especially in large quantities that might suggest commercial purposes rather than personal use. Pre-made baby food must follow liquid restrictions unless you're traveling with an infant, but proving necessity can become complicated during busy security checks. International adoption of different baby food standards creates additional complications. Formula brands legal in one country might contain prohibited ingredients in another, making international family travel particularly challenging. Some countries require original packaging and ingredient labels in specific languages, turning routine feeding into a documentation nightmare. Meat products represent perhaps the most universally restricted category, with virtually every country maintaining strict import controls. That beef jerky you packed for protein becomes contraband the moment you cross international borders. Even commercially packaged, sealed meat products face restrictions due to disease prevention protocols. Mad cow disease, African swine fever, and other livestock diseases make meat products extremely high risk from a customs perspective. The restrictions extend beyond obvious meat products to include items with meat-derived ingredients. Soup mixes containing beef or chicken flavoring, snack foods with meat seasoning, and even some vitamins with gelatin capsules can trigger violations. Reading ingredient labels becomes crucial, but language barriers and unfamiliar terminology make this challenging for international travelers. Dairy products face similar restrictions, though the rules vary dramatically by destination country. Cheese, milk powder, and butter products often require special permits or face outright bans depending on their origin and processing methods. Unpasteurized dairy products are particularly problematic, as they pose genuine health risks beyond simple regulatory compliance. Powdered substances of any kind trigger immediate security attention, regardless of their actual contents. Protein powder, drink mixes, and even powdered spices get extra screening that can delay your journey significantly. Large quantities of any powder require additional documentation and testing, potentially missing connecting flights while security conducts thorough inspections. The visual similarity between harmless powders and dangerous substances means security agents err on the side of caution, often requiring chemical testing that takes considerable time. Mixing different powdered foods in the same container creates additional suspicion, as agents can't easily identify individual components during routine screening. Liquid-filled foods present unique challenges that go beyond simple TSA regulations. Items like soup dumplings, liquid center chocolates, and gel-filled candies technically contain liquids that count toward carry-on restrictions. The liquid content might be minimal, but regulations focus on the presence rather than quantity, creating seemingly arbitrary enforcement situations. Strategic packing can help you navigate these restrictions without sacrificing nutrition or enjoyment. Research destination-specific rules before packing, as regulations vary significantly between countries and even different regions within the same country. Consider purchasing restricted items after security or at your destination rather than risking confiscation and delays. Documentation becomes your best friend when traveling with questionable food items. Original packaging, ingredient labels, and receipts can help prove legitimacy during security screenings. Some travelers photograph their packing process and food labels as backup documentation, though this isn't foolproof protection against determined customs officials. Timing your food consumption around travel schedules eliminates many potential problems. Eating restricted items before security screening or purchasing replacement foods at your destination avoids most regulations entirely. Airport food options have improved dramatically in recent years, making pre-flight purchases less necessary for most travelers. Alternative protein sources that travel well include nuts, seeds, and protein bars that comply with size restrictions. These options provide nutrition without triggering liquid or meat restrictions, though nut allergies on flight create their own considerations for fellow passengers. Understanding cultural context helps explain seemingly arbitrary restrictions. Countries with significant agricultural industries maintain stricter produce controls, while nations with livestock disease histories focused more heavily on meat products. Religious and cultural dietary restrictions also influence what foods face enhanced scrutiny during customs inspections. Your travel success depends on respecting these regulations rather than trying to outsmart security systems. Attempted concealment or mislabeling foods creates far more problems than simple compliance, potentially resulting in travel bans or legal consequences that extend far beyond a single trip. Planning ahead transforms food restrictions from travel obstacles into minor inconveniences. Research, proper documentation, and respectful compliance ensure your culinary choices enhance rather than derail your travel experiences. Remember to subscribe for more essential travel tips that could save your next adventure from unexpected disasters, and I'll see you in the next video where we uncover more travel secrets you never knew you needed.